Here we have the 1 hour price chart for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Okay, so we'll start by looking at the hourly chart here, and we'll kind of zoom in a bit here. There are a lot of people that are currently calling for a top in this stock. I don't really side with that side of the market. We can go over some of the arguments that this bearish side of the market is making, but it's going to be fairly easy to dismantle these arguments relatively quickly. Here we have the hourly chart. So, in the prior video that I posted, there was a guy who kind of an idiot. He had a cartoon character in his avatar, and he seems to think he's a genius, even though he can't form a basic sentence. He seemed to be calling for a bear flag pattern here. So let's just sort of go over this a little bit here. And we can easily dispel this because it's completely idiotic. It makes no sense at all. So here we can see, a bear flag or a bull flag would resemble a flag pole. So you've got a flag pole and then the flag itself. We can kind of easily visualize that. The best argument, like if we were going to try to, explain this idiot's argument, here we would have I don't agree with this. Don't believe that I'm, actually describing things in this way. But if we were trying to explain things that way, here we would have the flag pole, and then here presumably we would have the flag itself. And since it's in the downside direction here, the pole faces upward and the flag faces sort of downward. This would be called a bear flag pattern. And then it would suggest that prices are likely to continue moving lower. There are a few different reasons that this is not true at all. The easiest thing to point to would be the fact that the flagpole is much smaller than the flag itself. Okay. I mean, this is just completely idiotic what this guy is suggesting here. What in reality, what this is a sideways trading range. This guy's, I think he saw something in a book somewhere and he thinks he knows what he's talking about. He thinks he can just apply it to anything that, even vaguely resembles the structure. But there are rules for these things, and, the flag itself cannot be longer or, more significant than the flag pole. I mean, how many times have you seen, you've gone out in public and you see a flag waving around? How many times is the flag itself longer than the flag pole? Never happens. It's the same rules apply here. You can't have a flag pole that's kind of insignificant, and then the flag itself that's much larger in structure. And there are many reasons for that, because the flagpole itself, that's how you get the ultimate price projection and things like that. It just makes no sense at all. This guy had a Snoopy cartoon character as his avatar, and he wasn't able to form basic sentence structure in his comments. Feel free to go back to the prior video and you can read what this guy had to say. But this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a complete idiot. And here we can see that, and there are other reasons that this is invalid as well. As you can see, we're currently breaking through higher highs here. The prior resistance level came in. This would be the price high from June 26th. And the price high came in at 128.11. So as we can see here during the Friday trading session, which is when this genius posted his comment, we can see during the Friday trading session that the stock was able to post highs of 128.85. So we've already broken above this range resistance here. Normally, I would like to see a close above this level. It would be a bit stronger in that case, but we have broken highs here. We have broken range highs here. So there's no question about that. If we do see a daily close here, we will be looking at higher prices and a better invalidation of a prior price pattern that I was pointing to, which would if this guy wanted to make a bearish argument here, a much better argument would have been a potential head and shoulders pattern. But this guy's kind of married to his own ideas. He's living in 1950. He, back when Snoopy was a popular character. I think he calls himself Joe Cool Trader, which I believe was that Snoopy's nickname. I don't know. I'm alive in this century, not the prior century. But anyway, a much better potential pattern here would have been a possible head and shoulders pattern that could be developing here. But the problem is we're really not pressuring the downside much, and it won't take very much to kind of invalidate this price pattern as well. So we're really on the verge of breaking into bullish territory rather than bearish territory. And all of this outlook here is confirmed by the indicator reading on the hourly chart, which is currently showing, some emerging bullish momentum here. So overall, we have several positive signals here that come in addition to the fact that share prices themselves are pressuring these range highs fairly significantly. I mean, we have already broken prior highs. Currently, we're trading above all of the major moving averages. So this is the hourly chart, and these are significant moving averages. So the blue line here would be the 200 hour exponential moving average. Purple line would be 100 hour. Uh, the uh, the orange line here would be the kind of zoom in here. The orange line would be the 50-hour exponential moving average, and then the yellow line would be the 20-hour exponential moving average. Okay, and what we can see here is that the 20-hour exponential moving average has crossed above these longer term exponential moving averages. So here we have a dip below here, but then we have a fairly forceful move higher here, and we do break back above the 100-hour and 50-hour with the 20-hour exponential moving average. So, all of these factors here do point in the positive direction. And for the most part, we are putting a lot of pressure here on the top side. So, overall, I wouldn't say that this potential head and shoulders pattern, like if we really wanted to try to make a bearish argument here, I would definitely side in that region, of the argument. Because the structure itself follows the rules and actually makes sense. It's not an idiotic situation here where you've got this tiny flagpole, and a flag structure that's like, double the size of the flagpole. It makes no sense. Okay, so and those things do matter because it ultimately determines the ultimate projection to the downside or whatever it is, whatever fantasy world this guy's living in. Okay, so ultimately, if we were to see a downside price movement, in order for me to start to get bearish on the stock, I would need to see a break, of this 118 level. Possibly, we can call this 118.20. The reason I'm kind of pointing to this level is because we do have kind of a double bottom support zone here. It would be the bottom end of this trading range that I've outlined here. And then in addition to that, you do have these price levels coming into fairly close proximity with the 200-hour exponential moving average. If we were to fall into this region, we would have already lost support from the 20, 50, and 100 period exponential moving averages. So that would give the stock a bit of downside momentum and possibly generate a downside break here. And then if that were to occur, then I might start to change the outlook here and start to look at things from the bearish perspective. But these price points have not played themselves out yet, so it would be way too premature to start looking at the stock in that way. Currently, most of the pressure is clearly focusing on the top side here, even though we're still trading at relatively elevated levels. So here's the current market analysis for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA.